bronze 4 top laner. I'm bronze 2 though.
John, join.
Ira's like plat.
And then that's me.
He's pretty good.
So is Zach. Ah,
Here we
shit.
go.
No. Top laner. I'm bronze
Well,
2 though.
John, join.
Ira's like
I
plat.
did absolutely crush Zach and Jungle last time,
So
but
is Zach.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
But what with the picks? That depends on who the champions you guys are playing.
He had Aatrox and I had Skarner. I did absolutely.
Okay, I'm gonna go into my special third channel for the stream stuff.
Holy shit.
Let me send you graph links first. Okay, I'm gonna go into my special copy third channel.
So,
for the
who are our
stream
first
stuff.
3 bands at least, right?
Let me
We
send you
have-
graph links first.
Akali?
I'm gonna go into my
Lilia. Lilia's
Akali
probably
Lilia.
first.
Akali Lilia. It's gonna be it's gonna be Pantheon
Alright,
and then.
you have your link,
Akali.
Ray. You can run the R and stuff with Zach.
Lilia's probably
But I'll play Fiora. Yeah.
Alright, Zach, you have your link. Do your ready
Yep, I'm
stuff
in
with
it.
Ray, and then up to you guys. I'm gonna go into a third chat and start streaming it.
But I'll play Fiora. Yeah.
Alright, Zach, you have your link. Do your ready stuff
I'm in
with Ray, and then up to you guys. I'm gonna go into a third chat and start
Like, they
streaming
need a spectate link.
it. You right. Sent.
Like, they need a spectate link.
You right. Sent. You right. Why is this not working? Why is this not working? Okay, we're going. Shit. I should have made them choose team names. Just gotta call them Zach's team and Ray's team. So Zach's on blue, Ray's team's on red. Okay, we're going. Shit. I can hear myself. How do I turn that off? I should have made them choose team names. Just gotta call them Zach's team and Ray's team. So Zach's on blue, Ray's team's on red. Okay, we're going. Shit. I can hear myself. Oh, it's because I left the stream open in Discord. Or in YouTube. Shit, what happened? Oh, Zach got his Lilia! He really wanted Lilia in game 1. And he didn't get it, got banned away from him. They take the Briar ban out instead. And Ray immediately slams Fiddlesticks. I don't know when the teams are planning. There's an agreement in bot lane for Ornn into Volibear. I don't know when the teams are planning to use those or if they want to just get them out of the way right now. Looks like they're holding them. Ray's team's probably going to save it for red for R4 so that they don't have to blind an actual pick and they can use their priority as red side over here. And then Zach's side, I don't know what they're looking to pick. The Akali's gone, so if I'm them, you probably take Yone and then an Enchanter for Lucy. Ooh, Volibear, and then an Enchanter for Lucy. Yeah, because they can't ban out Yone, so that's safe. They're not allowed to full ban Danny's picks. And the Senna pick. So we got Senna. Okay. Interesting. What have you got for bans now? Because you can't ban the mid lane out. You can't ban the Yone. So do you look at banning? Oh, what do you even? Because there's not a lot of top lane bans you can take out. They banned the Yone. That's a ban out. Wait. Hold on. I don't think you can do that.
Then I do mid lane.
Do you want me to talk to him about that?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, I
That's
will.
just entirely...
Hey, you guys weren't allowed to ban Yone. That's a full ban out.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't have any other mid laners. You can't ban Yone.
Was there some stat sheet that all of us weren't able to read except for Ray, and that's what we got?
I didn't.
Was there a chart you didn't get?
I didn't get a chart of what. I didn't get a chart of like what all the champions everyone has. Where they're.
Well, no, but he has 2 characters he can play in mid lane, so the Yone's not allowed to also be banned.
I thought he also had like Aurelia and stuff.
No, yeah, that's
He should not play Relia.
a full one. Here we're gonna. We can't pause the draft thing, but we're gonna.
Take a screenshot of it, maybe.
Yeah, here.
Okay, we can just it'll skip the ban and then do the
Okay,
bans and
I'll
then
just-
pick, and then we'll figure it out.
Okay, yeah, you guys hold your ban. I'm gonna ask them for their ban, and we'll just do that. Oh wait, no, it's theirs. Okay, you guys give me 2 bans. The Yone ban doesn't count, and they're losing a ban for it
Okay.
because there was confusion over it all.
First band's gonna be Garen, looks like.
Okay, Garen, and
What do you think, Ira? Like, we're literally just looking at top lane bans at this point.
Oh, okay. Fuck.
We also just banned the Darius.
He give you just a sec. I don't know his characters. Does he play Camille? Does he play
No.
Warwick?
He likes slow bruisers.
here I'll get the Garen back to him. Okay, well I guess you guys probably are gonna take the Ornn here anyway. Just run the timer out. Garen's gonna get banned, and do you have like 1 ban you want to throw through? We're just gonna kill the Yone ban. That just doesn't. It's a little scuffed, but
Or picking Leo's pick whatever Leo wanted.
Yeah, Mord.
More.
Okay, so Mordecai. We're picking Mordekaiser, I guess.
okay, we'll just call it here.
Is there a
And
champion
then-
you want banned, Leo?
I'm trying to fix this, but it's so much.
Sorry, a sec.
If you guys weren't gonna Mad Mord, the good news is it doesn't matter because the last pick has to be Ornn on their side. So
We did not pick more.
okay, cool. So we'll just call it. You guys pick what you're gonna pick.
And Dorn, I would
Um,
leave as well. We need to counter specifically gentlemen.
No,
Yeah,
Mord.
let-
No,
would you- would you
we
just
know
start
there
this
was no
sentence?
Ornn ban cam. We're saying if you were gonna ban Mord.
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 Okay, I think we're just running the draft out as it works. It seems like somehow it didn't end up actually causing problems.
Okay.
So they're
Alright.
picking. They're
They-
picking Darius.
If they said Darius, yeah, it looks like it.
Cool.
Okay, everything's just as it actually happens from here on. I'm gonna pop back into my 3rd jet.
And fun casting.
Okay, somehow we got there. Okay, so yeah, they're picking Darius Yone over here. No. Oh, Yone Scion. Wait. Oh, shit. I gotta fix something again. It was a Darius ban. It doesn't matter, but it's Yone Scion. The Scion is the real pick. Just okay. You guys might have put this together. The Darius was not a pick. That was they were trying to figure out their ban. So they are playing Scion.
Alright.
Okay, just so your
Okay.
runes aren't all
Yeah, now
fucked.
he's supposed to ban.
Yeah, it's Scion top,
Scion.
Yone mid. Okay, I'm
Alright.
leaving for real now. Okay, we got there. Both teams appear to actually know what they're playing now. We've got. I'm in the spectator. Okay, yeah, good. Okay, is right side ready? I may just like What? That's so fucking dumb. Okay, and then from here, I fucking don't know how to do this shit. Capture specific window. League of Legends. Can't capture League of Legends. Well, maybe it'll capture the full thing. I don't know. Kill the game capture for now. Keep the display capture up. Sure. Okay. So there we got the draft. Honestly, it's pretty reasonable team setups. I think the Lilia is definitely the power pick on Blue's side. And the Volibear can get into a good spot if he takes the tank Volibear build, the tank sustain Volibear. And then on Red's side, the Mordekaiser is in a really strong spot this game. And the Fiddlesticks, and even potentially the Senna, have a lot that they can look to end up doing here. I'm going to let the teams know.
Blue and purple.
Hey.
That'll kind of tie us together.
Just letting you guys know, you might hear me like joining every once in a while. I'll be muted, but it's just so I can hear comms every so often from teams. So just so you don't know what you don't.
Be sure to be completely silent.
Please don't do that to me. It's just so you guys know why you're hearing random join notifications.
Yeah, as soon as we hear it.
All right, let the other team know. All right, just so you guys know, you might just hear random join notifications from me. I'm just gonna be popping every once in a while to hear comms. I'll be muted. I won't say anything, just so you know why you get the notification.
I will still acknowledge you.
You know what? Thank you, Leo. All right. All right. Probably shouldn't have put that on stream. Sorry, but oh, and I do get a spectator delay. Okay. So I have like 2 minutes to talk about how I think the drafts work. I mean, I kind of already did. I think top laner is a slam dunk for Mordekaiser. Seems kind of unplayable for Sion to me. Wondering if the Sion ended up getting picked out of an accident, just because of all the draft confusion around the Yone ban and all that happened. Fiddlesticks and Lilia. I don't think it's that bad. Like, it's definitely Lilia favored because she can just kite around outside of his W range really quickly and easily. So Fiddle will be looking more to make impact on Lilia's team than Lilia herself, but that also should mean that Lilia can get really aggressive in the jungle if she wants to. Yone Lux are our two lower elo players. It should just be really free for Lux to permaclear the wave, though, and just never be at threat from Yone. Volibear Ornn is, I imagine, heavily Volibear favored. You know what? I can look at stats. The supports are definitely going to add a whole different dynamic onto this, but this feels like it should be... Oh, no, it's actually dead even. Oh, that's awesome. So we have like a true even lore matchup in bot lane out of the Volibear and the Ornn. And then Morgana... Morgana has some really big value this game, because it is in... Oh, I hadn't even noticed that. But Zach's team probably has already. There's a full AP stack out of Ray's side with the Ornn, Mordekaiser, Lux, Fiddlesticks, and probably AP Senna. Which means that Lilia and Volibear are going to become unkillable, and Morgana's Black Shield will pop immediately. That's one good thing for them, is a lot of magic damage actually pretty strong into Morgana, assuming that the crowd control is what you're trying to block to use her for. Or the crowd control denial. Oh, it's so hard for them to play, though, into this full AP stack. We'll see how this goes for him. Okay, and then let's get the... I can't get to... Wait, I can't get to OBS. I can't get to OBS to... League won't minimize. Help. I can't leave to fix what league's streaming. Is this... I gotta find out if this is actually catching now.
Summoner's Rift. 30 seconds until minions spawn.
Alright, well good news is, it is streaming. With the sound and everything. So there's no problem. I just thought there was, and now I don't know if I'm muted or not. And I can't change voice chats easily. That's... I'll have to do that on my iPad. Okay, so we've got teams set up.
Minions have spawned. You ready for the wrath of heaven restored?
Wait, is Sun up? There's no way Sun is mid. They have double support item. What? Fuck you, John. As Lucy's trying to take a screenshot of the duck, she gets autoed. Fortunately for Lucy, John does have a support item, so he's kind of already sold his lane. He's also just not in mid right now. John? Okay. This game might be fast, and it might be one-sided. We're gonna see how things pan out, but we've had a bit of an incident there with John missing the entire first wave. And on top of missing the first wave, starting support item. Oh, a heavy trade in top lane, though. Sion has to ghost out. Okay, Riley's taking good aggression on the fact that it's a melee bot laner, so she can get tons of free stacks as Senna into him. Lucy doing the same. We've got a lot of... It's a very angry bot lane. John is currently both teams' least favorite player. Just a... Oh my god! Because he stopped Lucy from taking a picture of a duck. And... Oh no, it's so over. Yeah, John stopped Lucy from taking a picture of a duck in the early game. And while typing about the duck to try and find out what was going on, she accidentally also just didn't... Or John accidentally also just didn't play his lane. And has a support item, meaning worse income from lane. So if we look at the 10 CS gap, it's actually already a 200 gold lead in Danny's favor. And... Oh, that root missing probably saves Danny's lane. Top lane getting tough for Leo from here. He took an early advantage by getting Sion's Ghost out, but didn't end up actually getting to do much with it, and is now, well, now sitting dead even on with the Sion. It's Call Sion. This could be an AD Sion pick, which would make things very difficult. That adds a whole different element to this game. It's a very different type of... I thought it was going to be Tank Sion to take advantage of the AP stack out of Red Team, but we could end up seeing AD Sion here. Specifically interested to see what build we see out of Volibear here, out of Cam. I'd like to see the Spirit Visage build. Maybe he wants a little bit more damage in the rotation. If it's the Spirit Visage tank build from Cam, I think he just becomes genuinely invulnerable as the game keeps going. Okay, so Leo got an early teleport out of Sion, but it's not actually going to turn into an advantage. It just means he'll have his up later, because he's still going to have to use teleport to come back into this lane, so it's not any benefit. Ooh, Leo needs to get out of this lane. It's actually getting a little scary in terms of being potentially dove by Sion. which would be a full disaster. Leo and Mordekaiser is currently his team's most likely avenue to win the game through. I don't know why my headset just made a noise. Okay, so we've got an early... Currently, jungle's in pretty much even parity. Zach is getting an early aggress on the Drake with the prio out of bot lane, which is really nice for his team, because those Drake stacking is probably going to be really easy for Zach's team, since they win the early mid game through the Volibear aggression, and then they probably just win late game through itemizing magic resist. So it should be really hard for red team here to... Oh. Yeah, it should be really tough for red team to make any play. Could have a death here? No, he should just be able to walk out. A little bit of a misstep from Cam, walking up onto the Ornn pillar and getting juggled a little bit. Okay, we get a good mini trade here from Yone, but a good use of flash from John. I like that. Yeah, I agree with not flashing ahead of time. There just wasn't any need. It wasn't necessary, but it ends up getting out in time. The Swifties from Sion says that this is 100% going to be AD Sion. But actually, no. I'm interested in the Swifties, but with the Reju beat. I guess it's probably just Tank Sion and he's really worried about being able to move around comfortably after this Mordekaiser. It's not wrong. No, he's correct. I like the itemization choice, actually. The Merc Treads are only going to add a little bit of extra magic resist. It's realistically not going to be the difference maker. So being able to instead actually be able to catch his targets when there's going to be a lot more slows than a hard CC stopping him. Ray with an early counter jungle takes out some of Zach's farm. Working on it currently, actually. You pan over here. He's just barely going to get out with it. And that sets him off to a little bit of an early lead. There should be noticed Sion here that he's at risk of dying. This might not have been calmed properly. Sion is still aggressively forward despite... Oh, but the Ghost gets him out. I'm surprised not to see Leo just pull the ult there to force him into a longer fight once the Ghost pops, but... I'm being told that this could help me. Don't do that. I hate that. Oh, it works.
On him, he doesn't get his.
I tried to land my E before he could finish the ult with good vision, but
I didn't do anything about it.
we needed you to match the rotate. There's no way John should be there before you.
That's not in the bush. Oh, that's not in the bush.
It was called that we were fighting Grups.
No, I know. I didn't know John rotated.
Oh, I should do
No, but you should be there to fight Grups.
That's fine.
Gotta check that I'm muted in Discord before.
no.
Oh god.
Always choose. Nice.
Now let's check over at the other team after that quick pickup.
That was a really good fight for the bro. Thank you. Wait. Come on, I need one more combo and you're done.
We got plus Rubblings now.
Okay, so Ray's team's picked up an early grub advantage, which actually is a pretty relevant big deal when we got Sion as a split push threat and Mordekaiser who can end up extending his own lead through the side lanes. This is a close game at the moment. As we get later and later, it should start to swing in favor of blue team, not only from the infinite scaling of Sion's health as he gets bigger and bigger, but also...
Oh, wait, no, you cleared it. Yep. That's how...
If you guys fight, then...
Yeah, but also because magic resist stacking is going to go crazy. Oh, that is AP Volibear! We'll check back in during a team fight later. But AP Volibear goes crazy here. That's very interesting to see that instead of the tank build. I'm wondering if it'll be the Rod of Ages Oh, I can check his runes. Wait. Okay. He does not have the right runes for the Jack of all trades volley spam build. Oh, and yeah, Riley just getting punished. But it's going to be an identical trade to last. Huge flash by Connor. And again, it's a 1-for-1. But technically, these have to be favoring the Ornn, who's getting the staying alive and continuing to be able to farm his lane, while Cam is dying to trade for the support. Zach looking to really pressure them off of these grubs. It'd be somewhat disastrous if Zach's not able to trade his power back a bit. And it's going to be a 3v3, almost certainly. We should have Fiddle coming over the wall here. Yep, for the double fear, that's going to be a one-shot. Very well played by Ray to just obliterate that grub fight. Yeah. A little greedy from Zach's team to stay in the pit after they lost vision on that ward. That just means that the Fiddle Fear is going to come in and it's way too much power. Okay, so an early lead going to be starting to crop up for the red team here. They're just a little bit ahead, but it could end up meaning a lot in the length of this game. Okay. Ornn doesn't end up really doing much. Maybe more of a disengage ult. Let's check the gold. How are we looking? So Cam's up slightly in gold despite being down in CS. It's actually going to be a slight gold deficit after these minions get picked up by Ornn. But the minor... It's closer than the CS would say, because Cam's actually been picking up a little bit. He got one more kill than Connor does. Support is favoring Lucy, who's got one more kill and one more assist. So there's a good lead generated there. Mid lane is actually 300. The jungle is currently a huge... The top side right now for red team is where all of their lead is. They're very ahead with this Mordekaiser Fiddlestick setup. And that's going to be pretty much what determines whether or not they're able to... Oh. Lucy hasn't flashed yet. She does get the flash. And she lives. That's a really big live for her. 3-man sleep! Oh my god. No, so Zach... Ray may have gapped Zach in the last fight on the Scuttle, on the Grubs, but this fight currently looking very heavily in Zach's favor. Oh, and Lucy walks back into range just to get that ignite. That's actually huge for that heal cut. Very well played by them. I want to hear the comments. If there's any.
Yeah, I think I just get mid-turret.
Yeah, this is kind of just... You may as well be made aware of this. This is Leo's MO. He
this is top lane. Like, welcome to top lane. Like, this is.
And we are now 15 minutes into this game, and I've only just realized that because I'm on spectator delay, I don't actually get to hear what they're talking about when I join their voice chats. That is an entirely useless feature. So, we're gonna stop popping in their voice chats and just getting spoiled by random shit. Yeah, Zach pulling blue back into the lead there is a really big deal. That was a huge fight out of them. I would like to see earlier magic resist on blue team. Being into an AP stack like this and not having itemized any magic resist is a little bit criminal. Not one of their members has bought magic resist yet at this point. Okay. Very good use of the ult there. It would have been better for Danny to probably stall his pullback a little, or to just eat R, pull back and immediately R, but overall, not a bad escape. And he does use everything, but he does also not... Managing to get Fiddlestick's ult out and not dying is a really big deal for Danny there. It looks like Ray did get that blue buff, which is going to be a big problem for Zach. Yeah, Zach's got to be really careful here. It's not a bad TP from Danny. He's going to miss some CS still, but yeah, and unfortunately early smite. Currently, Danny does look like he's on the better of the jungle matchup. Although all Zach really needs is one more good... Or Ray looks like he's getting better jungle matchup. All Zach really needs is one more good big team fight as Lilia, and this pick will start to shoot into the lead just very, very quickly. Ooh, almost with the kill there. Wondering if he could have gotten it if he'd weaved his autos a little more carefully, but... Aggressive trading in bot lane. Cam is doing the Jack of all trades build, but he awkwardly hasn't taken Jack of all trades. So this build, it's not nearly as strong as it normally would be. He has the tank Volibear runes, but with the Jack of all trades items. So there'll be a little bit of incoherency there, a little bit of a disorder in the build path with the actual items. John might be about to... Okay. It's probably an unnecessary ult, but... maybe necessary, actually. Definitely worth the ult. It's a reasonable use of it. To make sure that Danny doesn't give over a kill to this Lux. If the Lux ends up ahead, that's yet another path where where Ray's team could end up developing too much of a lead before things get back in control. As Lucy might be about to get hit by the Fiddle over wall. It looks like it. And that should be Lucy. Lucy might actually be able to walk out here. Oh no, she is definitely going to die here as Cam could have ulted instead of flashing, and it actually would have given him enough health to live too. The flash instead of ult there is a bit unfortunate because it's a longer cooldown and it doesn't give him the health that he needed to sustain that matchup. Taking a lot of damage here to defend this turret. Manages to, but it also puts him on map. Okay, so blue team's... Red's playing the better early game. Unfortunately, their draft is definitely disfavored as this game goes longer. Incredibly surprised to see the Lucidity boots come out of Lilia into the 4 AP threats. That feels ill-advised, and I'm worried. Oh, and they still get the turret too. Yeah, it's just a lot of... Nice little chill moment in mid lane. Yeah, very... Oh, Danny's still going for this, even after Ray reveals himself. Looks like he doesn't get punished for it, but if that Lux root connects, he is just dead. So that was very dangerous to continue pressuring that as long as he did. And we are now 18 minutes in, and we still don't have any AP itemization from the blue team. They really got to start getting on top of this. This game could get out of hand to even with the AP stack. This game is winnable for red team if they end up too far ahead. And the 2k gold lead, while very overturnable, is definitely something to consider. Should be a Mordekaiser solo kill potentially. Oh, but our camera gets pulled back over to a really bad Drake fight for blue team. Is this going to be this could be what determines and pushes the game out of control for them. Oh, and Lucy accidentally ends up clicking a minion while walking away there. It's looking a little tragic. Yeah, this is getting concerning for blue team. They can definitely hang on to it and pull it back over time, but they really need to get some magic resist online as we finally see the first and all magic built on Ira in the top lane there. And for red team, it's going to be all about trying to snowball this lead. They have a very early lead. They do have Ornn scaling, so their mid-late game spikes really hard. If we get proper itemization out of the Lilia and the Volibear, I do believe that this just ends up out of control. They need to not get over zealous on this. It's very huge, actually. Genuinely, I thought the Fiddlesticks would sustain through that. I do not understand that character's windows. That's a huge play out of Danny. Taking both the Lux and the Fiddlesticks out of commission at the same time. Oh, and a missed E from Zac should mean that this Mordekaiser gets to walk free. He's trying to stack up his movement speed on the minions while he waits for the Scion to come out of the pit. You gotta think, oh, but with the missed E, there might be, oh, but Leo puts this pull back in the wrong direction, and they do end up getting him. Somewhat unnecessary, not a favored trade there for the Volibear under tower. They've got to do a really good job on blue side of marking this Fiddlesticks. That's going to be one of the major concerns for them. Fiddlesticks is very ahead right now, and he's going to start to get even more ahead. The Ornn being ahead isn't as big of a deal because it's hard for him to convert that into actual kills and leverage. A little late on the pullback there from Danny on the Yone. Just tanks a Lux Salt for very little reason. Okay, the Rod of Ages does finally proc on the Volibear. And I'd really need to see some magic resist in this third item slot after the Quick Blades are finished. The Flicker Blades, rather. Oh, very aggressive play down here in bot. I'm not sure about this one. They should just be getting... Yeah, that's going to be 2 kills. We are fighting for a very, unfortunately, aggressive fight there for pretty much no payout. There shouldn't be a lot of pressure to do much in bot lane right now. They just got to slow down and scale up. The Flicker Blades are finished for Volibear there, at least. So now we can hopefully see the Spirit Visage itemized third. And that would go a long way towards this team actually starting to bulk up. Oh, the Demolish here could just one-shot this tower practically. They're very ahead. And with the 5 grub advantage, it's definitely scary. Potential chance for a turn here in mid lane. It looks like they're going to go for it. Yeah, and they almost certainly are going to pick that one up. The kill going onto Danny, honestly, not even that bad. He has been playing fairly well this game. It's been a solid lane for him so far. He's been doing a good job at pressuring the Lux, despite it being a largely unmovable lane. Is this overzealous, or does he actually have this kill here? Beautiful kill, legitimately. That is knowing your limits. Really good flash, really good R follow-up after forcing the Lux to flash out off the E. That was just a good kill. And Danny is looking like he might be moving into a position here to take over this game. Oh, Zek unfortunately misses another E. That's going to put an end to that gank right there. Ira starting to get his magic resist itemized in. He's going for the same item that Ornn has, the Hollowed Radiance. We really just need... The blue side bot lane really needs to chill out here. They're gonna threaten themselves, and they could end up losing the game if they get another 2 or 3 kills over this Fiddle. It's gonna get really scary if the lane continues to accelerate. They want to slow things down and kind of pull it back into a pace where they can scale up and get their resists. Potentially very big fight here. The Fiddlesticks being present is definitely a concern. But it's... Blue team's gonna fight for this, almost certainly. Thankfully, or red team's gonna fight for this, almost certainly. Thankfully for blue team, they can kind of tuck in on this objective, and it makes it very tough for the Fiddle to hit an R on them. We're gonna need an ult out of the Volibear. He's just chain CC'd to death. There's never a window for him to play. Yeah, and unfortunately after... Zek's gotta get out of this pit. Yeah, that objective is gone. There's no way to fight that at the point that the sleep is unable to be capitalized on. That should have been an ER window from the Yone with the sleep, probably. Might not have had the E up, might have been pressured off of it too early, but we'll have to see where things end up. Because the red team really is doing a good job of just pressuring on the map and keeping their tempo up. If blue team slows down and stops fighting, they have a really big window to just take this game back and pretty much end it right there and then. Unfortunately, it's so difficult for them to get that pressure after the early fights have gone the way they did. Yeah, and there's just no damage coming out of this Volibear. It's very low impact at the moment. And it's, yeah, too much fighting is really putting a stress on this game for the blue team. They just don't need to be making these plays. If they just farm up, they'll become stronger and they'll win. Still a winnable game for them, even down the 6k gold that they are, but it's gonna have to come down to a bit of a hero performance from either the Lilia or if Danny gets his MR properly. Right now, he does not, nobody on blue team has any magic resist. As Volibear has sold his boots to get magic resist boots, which are the correct boots to have, but it's unfortunate to see that it's coming at the expense of the extra gold from having to sell the item first.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
Yeah. And now we might just be in the death cycle, the death snowball for blue team here. They're going to have to find a way to stabilize this game. And maybe red team fails to find their window to end it properly, but this is just going to get out of control so quickly for them. It's going to be an R from Lilia. Really big 2 kills here to pick up. Both go to the Volibear, who I do think can become an unkillable demon in this game, basically. But it's really going to depend on him getting that Spirit Visage online, and then probably just more magic resist. Usually the Volibear then goes into... I do not know the name of the item. The armor item that heals you for how many ever targets you're near. But it's not looking like a reasonable build this game. Another E going wide, but the pressure is enough to make the Mordekaiser back off. Lilia's got to be really careful here. This could be a disaster. Currently getting the poke. And the ult comes down. Can only take 1 or 2 more hits before being killed here. As Lilia is just going to get stat sticked. 1 too many Qs connect, and that's just another death over to the Mordekaiser. But the team comes up, and they do pick the kill up. Lots of gold suddenly being generated on this Volibear. He's got to take a back window and get these items. He's got to be sitting on so much at this point. Yeah, 2,000 gold sitting on Volibear from right here. So I'd really like to see a Spirit Visage coming out for the Lilia here too. She is not going to have many problems kiting around these champions. She just needs to get the Spirit Visage so that she's actually able to frontline and tank up damage properly. Probably Spirit Visage into Force of Nature. An aggressive ult here from Fiddlesticks. Not much of a kill window onto this Scion, who's already finished an MR item. Although he's going to Titanic Hydra, so less MR being built than I'd expect here. Meanwhile, quietly, John has built up a bounty on this Lux. It's become a bit bigger than expected. That Cam needs to get his money spent. This is 2,500 gold with the Drake spawning shortly. This money cannot be sitting on the character. He needs to get out of here and buy. Otherwise, they're just going to be forfeiting over yet another Drake. Oh no, and it looks like they might be looking to fight the dragon on this buy. There's too much gold sitting on this Volibear. They can't be looking to fight this right now. Scion's only kind of fake threatened here. Can always ult out. Shouldn't be in much danger. This pick would be a really big deal. Yon coming in, gonna do a lot of damage very quickly. If Lilia can escape the Mordekaiser here in the realm, then they will be able to win this fight and get this Drake. Okay, Lilia just needs to get out. Oh, but the slow is so permanent, the flash. She is still burning. Yeah, Flash had to be over thick wall, unfortunately, and that's going to be a halt on the objective. Not a take for either team, but Yone could do a lot here. Reasonably big ult. Locked in with the Scion, it's a lot of damage. And they get out, but they're going to need to stay out. This is too much. Cam needs to leave this fight. He needs to get his item, and he needs to come back with magic resist. This is a really scary situation where they could be risking the game even further. Ray dying first is going to work to red team's advantage here, where they can warm back and they can take advantage of this. Looks like red team's calling to reset the Drake, though. Red team getting this scuttle will be a huge boon for them. Volibear still hasn't reset. Oh, it's a very late reset. That's basically just going to be the Drake handed over. There's too much unspent gold this game, unfortunately. Yeah, Volibear finally gets their item, and they are building into an armor item. I don't know which armor item that is. Can I pull up the shop on that? I can't. I don't think that itemizes out of that might be a Frozen Heart, but Volibear again just does not have Jack of all trades, so if that's a Frozen Heart, it's going to do very little. Frozen Heart would there's not even auto attackers on the red team other than Mordekaiser. That is essentially fully wasted gold. If that ends up being a Frozen Heart, that would be somewhat disastrous for all those shutdowns to go into that item. Danny also not building any MR yet. Has a free Wits End itemization option. It's very strong. Scion needs to kind of ult out of here probably. Yep. Free exit for Scion, no risk there. It's completely fine. As Lilia is actually, it looks like, going for the Verdant Barrier into Banshees before Spirit Visage, which isn't that bad. That's fine. An acceptable alternate option. This Volibear is going to explode. He does not have the right defensive stats. Unfortunately, we're getting another flash out instead of the R. Volley R getting held a little long there. And this is going to be another death for the Scion too, most likely. It's very, yeah, Scion will not be able to walk out of this one, extending a little bit too far after already having blown the ultimate. It's going to commit a lot of players, but there's no threat at all from red team to do Baron in the absence top side. So there's just, it's going to go untraded again. At least gets the stack. Okay, so we do have the Wits End finally getting started by the Yone here. That'll go a long way. Unfortunate that he can't also build a Hex Drinker because we have the Shield Bow itemized. Volibear building even more armor. So it does look like we're committing to the Frozen Heart, and that's not gonna do much of anything. I like the anti-heal out of Morgana a lot. That's a solid itemization choice. She is a little bit trapped being a Morgana. She very, very nearly has to build Zanya's. So she is going to be building an armor item, but I think that's pretty much the only correct armor item to bother with this game. Scion going for even more AD. This is going to be the item that gives AD based on max health and more AD as you lose health. So that'll be a strong item for Scion. I don't think there's a kill window here, as Ornn gets launched to safety anyways. And we've developed into about a, is that 6k gold lead? Roughly 6k gold lead. 6,500 gold lead. Which this late in the game is playable for blue team. I'm just very concerned about where their gold's been spent. If they actually end up itemizing magic resist, they will be able to dominantly take over this game. It's going to get very hard for them to farm shortly, as there's the Frozen Heart completed on Volibear. And that only influences the Mordekaiser. Volibear shouldn't consistently be able to get in range for Senna, and no other character on the red team is actually threatening with their auto attacks. It's just very dangerous. Unfortunately, Morgana ends up in range there for the root, and this should convert to a guaranteed Baron for red team. Danny does get the 1v1 on Mordekaiser, which is fairly relevant. That makes it harder for them to Baron, as there's some threat from the Yone Lilia duo, although it looks like they're going to give in favor of getting priority on this Soul Point Drake. I think if red team takes Soul, it's somewhat over. They need to fight this Drake properly, but the Volibear is going to get shredded with this build. There's...
Playing fucking Senna, you guys still have an ADC, like you built support. That's messed up.
Okay, well, the game has been spoiled. I was dragged into a game, and there's no way that blue wins for this spot, so we know who wins.